I was able to use a simple Google Doc to gain over 440 new email subscribers in less than 30 days. And the template is linked below this video for your review. And that template, plus the techniques I'm going to show you, are exactly what I used to welcome over 440 new subscribers to my email list in less than 30 days. And from there, I was able to sell my programs, stay in touch with high value prospects. So the reason why this works so well is because even though I am not the most active person on social media, I've been able to use these methods on demand to both build my personal brand and create an email list of people that both stay on my list and pay, which is really, really important. And to prove that it worked, I started a brand new email list from scratch in April at the time of this recording. And so it took from March 26th, when I had the idea, to April 24th. And at that time, I had 442 email subscribers. Now, it's important to know that I did this without running any ads. I did not post on social media on my profile feed. I did not do any cold calling. I did not dance and point, or I'd lose my dignity on TikTok. I did not try to convince anyone to work with me. And the best part about this is that people who join my email list actually want to hear from me. I regularly get more than 50% open rates and more than 12% click through rates. And here's the proof. Everybody always wants proof. So here's an email that was sent, over 50% open rates. So I like to say this is what know, like, and trust looks like in the real world. So imagine yourself having a reliable pool of subscribers eagerly awaiting your emails, ready to engage with their content and invest in your offerings. Now, this works whether you are B2B, B2C, offline, or online. And if that is what you want, then you are in the right place. And today I'm going to be sharing with you all these things, and more importantly, how you can do it as well. And the good news is that it does not matter what niche you are in. It does not matter what industry you serve, and it does not matter if you're a B2B or B2C, business to business or business to consumer. This can work for you. And for context, I did this while working on two other major projects, having a toddler and an entrepreneur husband. So it can be done, even on a limited time frame, if you focus and dedicate your attention to it. So let's get started. Why an email list is actually a business asset, and that should be a primary focus for you, why this method works so well, and how you can leverage this in any industry or niche for your own profits. And then I'll go over some of the logistics, mechanics, and other things to consider. So, as an introduction, just a little bit about me. I came from the world of real estate investing. I've been a landlord for a really long time. And the demand for housing has been really high for really long. And so I never really valued my leads, right? So every business has leads. And so in that business, you have resident leads. And I never thought much about creating a database of potential renters or clients. Well, fast forward in a few years, and I decided to go into financial services. Well, at that time, I decided to follow the advice of my mentors. Now, to be clear, this was good, valuable, and tried and true advice. It was to network, it was to build my brand, get out in the neighborhood, shake hands, kiss babies. The problem was that I realized that my income would be limited to those people that knew me and their network. So that meant that if their network was not full of the high income, high net worth business owner clients that I wanted, then I would be stuck. Okay. So the advice was to follow their instructions. And if I did, then I would add $50,000 per year every year. I would make that amount of money. Sounds good. And you know what? I followed their advice and I hit that bang on 50K. Awesome. So their advice worked. I did it. It worked. Absolutely. But then I realized there's a problem here because my lifestyle and my lifestyle goals are bigger than that. And so if I want to have a larger impact, say to the tune of $50,000 months instead of $50,000 years, then I needed to do something different because there just was not any scale in that. And so I didn't want to take for me to hit 50K months, my goodness, like that, that's that would be at least 8 times, if not more. And then with the amount of churn that you receive in the financial services industry and the amount of customer service required, I just wasn't going to be able to market my business at the volume necessary to hit my numbers. And so, just as I mentioned, I realized that at the same time, I needed to build my brand and my visibility in the marketplace. And so I needed something that would allow me to be, dare we say, consistently inconsistent. Okay. So there are times in life and in business where you need to be able to turn things on and off at will. And so that's why I like this model because it allows you to expand your network with other high quality professionals, and it does not require you to have a lot of spend, and it is high in value for all participants. So why this model? Well, most people build a business that's made up of what I like to call random sporadic events that sometimes make money. What this means is they do not have any real foundation of intellectual property or any tangible value. So that means they consistently have to chase or constantly have to chase after clients and jump through hoops in order to hit their revenue goals. And what's even more than that is that if or when they actually do hit their numbers, they feel like they have nothing to show for all the risk that they took as a business owner. So you feel like you're in an oversaturated market and you're like, man, maybe I need to pivot, something like that. And so that is why I decided to take a different approach and approach business differently. And so I have an entirely new way of looking at business and its activities. And I like to call it an asset driven ecosystem. And an asset driven ecosystem is when a business focuses on building tangible assets that can be monetized over the long term. And the reason why I like this is because it is simple, it is more scalable, and it takes up less time. In short, it allows the business to make more money in a sustainable manner. That is what an asset driven ecosystem is all about. And so, as business owners, our responsibility is to grow the business so that it can flourish and thrive with or without our constantly having to crank the wheel. And so, to do so, it comes down to focusing on three areas. They are number one, driving revenue, which is, and hopefully vis a vis profit. Number two, increasing our cash reserves. Number three, executing a plan to expand. So, every business, no matter how large or small they are, has to manage these three areas. Smart business owners realize that they can either sit at the helm of this random collection of sporadic events that sometimes make money, or they can spend their time and energy building, buying, and managing assets that consistently bring them cash. And so if you're here, hopefully you choose option B. And so assets are a stronger path to build on because assets lead to wealth. And certainly, in order to grow one's net worth, you have to focus on accumulating assets. That's why real estate investing is so popular. So, most people don't realize that a business can be a mechanism for creating and leveraging assets, and it certainly can. And so, now that we've talked about these three areas of driving revenue, increasing cash reserves, and executing a plan to expand, let's be clear it can be either very simple or it can be incredibly complex. Now, over time, I've come to realize that most people do not actually want a business. A business is simply a means to an end. Most people want a lifestyle and a way to generate income and opportunity that supports that lifestyle. So, after testing lots of actions and researching similarities among large enduring brands, I realized that they all have an asset or pool of potential customers, clients that see them as an authority. They consistently invite people to join in, create systems around it, and harvest sales from it. Therefore, I came to this premise. A business should not require constant reinvention or be composed of trending fads. Instead, enduring business comes from a unique set of insights and intellectual property that drives so much value that people recognize just how much they need it and they need it to make their lives better. That said, the first and most critical step in the entire asset driven ecosystem is to garner authority based attention. And hosting events with collaboration partners that drive people to your, what I like to call your authority asset, it allows you to add a flood of new subscribers and buyers on demand where attendees see you as the grand poobah of whatever whatchamacallit it is that you do. So therefore, if you want to capture a pool of leads, clients, and referrals this year, then you need to focus on building your authority asset, which is otherwise known as your email list. Because having an active and engaged list means that you have a captive pool of leads, buyers, and clients that want to do business with you and are willing to stay in a relationship. This makes the sales approach much easier because you don't have to prove why they should listen to you or that you're a credible authority. Now, when you host these types of events, you gain both clicks and subscribers, as well as credibility at the same time. So it doesn't matter how long you've been in business, what your credentials are. And of course, the better, the more, obviously. And here's the thing as a host of these attention events, that are going to build your authority asset, 5 things happen. First, you as the host, you receive impressions and credibility, which is a transfer of trust. Number 2, your collaborating partners, they gain unique impressions at no or low cost to them. Therefore, they're bought in. You get a fixed entry-level partnership that allows the host to build relationships at scale, as well as you can vet other people that you may want to work with in the future. There's clearly explained written obligations that both parties agree to, which I will review in the template. And then we also have the power of collaboration because the collaborative effort drives more than one person promoting than what one person would do promoting their events and items alone. So this works in 3 places. The first pillar is the plan. You want to determine what you want to sell, the price point, who to target, and who your client is for your product or service. Number 2, review your numbers and you set a target number of prospects that you need to support your sales. This is how you determine your audience reach, your number of contributors, so forth and so on. If your sales process involves launching at specific times of the year, then you certainly want to keep that in mind. Otherwise, allocate 4 to 6 weeks to organize. Number 2, or pillar number 2, your contributors. You want to find promotion partners who have an audience of people that are likely to have an ideal client for you. So whoever also does business with your same ideal clients. Once you identify those target persons, then you want to gather a list of at least 100 of them, but 500 to 1,000 is even better. Determine the type of event that you will host, considering the amount of time you're allocating, the number of participants you seek, and how targeted you want it to be. You will then write up a simple 3-page document explaining the vision for your event and what's in it for the contributing partner. Write your outreach messages, set up your tech, and begin your outreach. And you want to continue your outreach until you hit your target audience. And then I have an example here of this. And so this is, again, linked down below for you. This is exactly the one that I used to gain 440 subscribers, and I'm gifting it to you, my treat. So it tells you about the event. I have a summary, who it's for. It was a free event, so I'm answering the question why it's free. This was my timeline. I explained the logistics, why my contributors should consider contributing, additional details they needed to know, their requirements, again, even more timeline, and then how they could register their interest. And then finally, for the third pillar, you will design your promotional assets for the event. This is targeted for the target customer. You'll deliver those to your contributing partners, including promotional emails, social media posts, a banner, social media, headlines, and then certainly set up all of the customer-facing technology assets, including the rating page, the waiting list page, the registration page, and the event access pages. So the good thing about this structure is that it's very flexible and it can be customized to whatever stage in business that you are in. Whoever it is you want to target, and it can be even used to enter new niches or markets. So if you have any questions or you're feeling stuck on how to implement this, don't hesitate to reach out to me or my team. We're happy to help.